Morning, everybody. How are you all doing? I'm in the wrong corner, look. What am I doing down there? I'm down there normally. Weird. Also, the camera looks a bit wonky, doesn't it? Is that right? How are we all doing? Morning, everybody. Is the microphone okay? Because I had a load of microphone problems yesterday. Morning, Marco. Morning, Danny. Morning, Comfortably Crumbs. Morning, Paul. Morning, Mumble. Morning, Robert. How are we all doing? So, basically, today is, so I'm just adjusting the chat, so I'll put it in a different place. Today is Friday. It is, news-wise, a fairly quiet day. We've had kind of today's news already. We had the retail sales for the pound come out this morning, very bullish. We've had the monetary policy rate for Japan come out, which was on forecast. So if you look at the yen pairs, so far this morning, not really a massive move. We have had some ADRs hit. So have I got that on there? What's going on in my terminal? I've been mucking about in my terminal yesterday. Have I got two windows open? Pass. So we have had some movement on ADRs. So the Japan move basically is was kind of already forecast in, so we're not expecting huge moves off of it. Why is my window moved? Sorry. There. Oh, it's unlocked. I don't know why that moved. I'm really organised this morning, you can tell. I'm still getting used to this new layout everywhere. So basically, as you can see, JPY225, 200 ADR. But you can see all the yen pairs have all gone to 125 ADR. We got 100 ADR, 100 ADR. So there's a fair bit of movement off of the yen this morning. Nothing super dramatic. I'm not expecting it to go mental today because it's a forecast event. We were expecting that to come in. The pound news was bullish for the pound. So we've had a bit of movement on that. Just checking the ORB there. There's your 5-minute range. So we'll have a look at that in a second. So the pound basically, fairly decent move on the pound. Not on the pound odd. There was a fairly decent move on one of the pound pairs. I did look at it. It's euro pound. Someone posted it, wasn't it? So yeah, a bit of a spike on it. I think it was euro pound was the biggest move. Yeah. That's not actually that big, is it? But yeah, it's good news for the pound, basically, but not dramatic. So there we go. Take ages to load the chart. So big move up there. As you can see, we've got an ADR hit. So there's a few pound pairs which obviously have got some movement. I'm fast losing the will to live with MT5, to be honest. It just takes so long. It's so slow. It's so slow. But this is a new chart I'm opening for the pound Swiss. It just shouldn't be like this. I'm running on a gaming computer with 24 cores, right? You should not have to wait this long for a chart to load, should you? There we go. We'll have a look at the pound Swiss. I'm just gonna remove everything because I'm thinking there's one of these indicators is causing an issue. It won't be RSI, will it? Just a little test to see what is causing this. It's not my indicators, it's just MT5. It's just slow. Look at it. I can't operate. I can't live like this. Some days it seems to be better. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this. Some days it seems to be better than others. Updating, but that's taking too long, isn't it? Anyway, so we got a fair bit of movement. I banked a couple of bits yesterday. You can see I've done 1% yesterday. So I closed out Euro US dollar and Aussie dollar CAD. I didn't actually manage to post these in the end, but Euro US dollar position trade H1 M5 mean reversion. There we go. Where's my pen? I haven't got my pen ready. I'm so organized. So that was the H1 RSI extension, first entry, second entry, exit on that nice spike down that we had yesterday. I was really, really tempted to keep this on. This dollar, I think, might actually power up after what happened with the interest rates, but I don't know. So yeah, there is potential for this to come back down into range, but it's the dollar, so we'll have to wait and see. And the Aussie dollar CAD was the other one that I took off. Again, same thing. First entry was up there. This one was extended earlier. So you may have got on that spike there, in which case you would have been in 4 positions probably. And this will be your exit. So your average on those 4 will probably be somewhere around there. So you'll be in profit on it at the moment. But yeah, first and second for me and an exit there. So I took that one off. I've got Aussie New Zealand running. Took first entry on that one as a position yesterday on this spike. I don't want to brag, but look at the entry. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? That was an M5. I posted this one in Discord yesterday. That was an M5 reversal alert yesterday. There's the reversal alert. That was a good one. So again, Aussie New Zealand, that New Zealand dollar had bad news. Aussie had good news. So this thing could continue to grind. I got out of the last batch that I had on. So yeah, I mean, we're out into new territory now. Look, we've got an all-time high coming up there. I might mark that on my chart actually. In a line that we can actually see. Thick and use orange. I like orange, don't I, red? So yeah, so you've got that move there, which is from where the high was put in, we're looking at somewhere in the region of 212. So it's 4 ADR basically. So if that initial trade doesn't work out, I would expect to get into somewhere around about 5 to 6 trades within that position, and then look for a pullback on that leg or potentially on the entire thing. That would be the obvious target to come back down into. So coming back down into there at some point, obviously that being the main reaction point that we'd be looking for. And also I've got pound Swiss on, first entry taken on that on the hourly. See, it's all fast now. This is the thing that I don't get about MT5. You sit there bashing your head against a brick wall, and all of a sudden it goes, sorry, I'll catch up now. And now it's like lightning. Why is this? Why does it do this? I reckon it's a data loading thing, maybe. Just don't know. Hair out. Anyway, pound Swiss, first entry taken on that one, H1M5, first entry gone in. We are looking at divergence here. So RSI is putting in higher highs, price putting in lower lows. So yeah, there's a good potential for that to push back up into this kind of area here, which is a previous support. We've reacted around it a couple of times. There. We had a little bit of accumulation there before we pulled down into that previous weekly low, which we've just accumulated around. So I'm hoping this is going to start to push back up again. But that was decent news on the pound. So I would expect this potentially just to be kind of grabbing liquidity down there and then pushing back up. So we'll see where that one goes. But first entry's been taken on that one as well. No other trades on at the moment. Right, let's have a quick look at the DAX. Clean break to the downside on the DAX. So we'll see where we're going on this today. If we are going south, level I'd say is out of play now. So we got this low basically before the push yesterday. Obviously, there's your open yesterday, which we've got a nice little profit on. So I would say from a target perspective, we're looking at coming down either into yesterday's low, into this kind of pullback area from yesterday. We've got this whacking great propulsion gap here to act as potential support if we break that area. This is all within ADR, and that is ADR today. So there's a potential for a nice move to the downside. Upside target, very easy. We've got 2 targets to go for to the upside. Very simple. So your first closest resistance to the upside is that gap fill that we had from Tuesday. And then obviously Monday's high, which is the high of the week. Again, all within ADR. So there's loads of potential upside and downside within ADR today. So let's see where we go with that. Lovely day yesterday on everything. A very, very tricky day. I put a post out in Discord yesterday. The trades yesterday were tricky. So DAX was nice and clean, upside break to target. And then we accumulated for hours and basically got out on a break even with the second part of it. The Dow yesterday, we initially broke short and then immediately stopped out on a big power move back up again. Then we flipped long and immediately came back down. And then we took the 30-minute range break, which went straight to target and second part on the trailer. So 2 stop outs, 1 reward. Obviously cancelled itself out and made a little bit of profit. NASDAQ, pretty much the same thing yesterday. Broke long there and stopped out, broke short, stopped out, took the 30-minute ORB to target, second half trailed as well. Gold yesterday was the main winner of the day. So we broke short on gold, straight to target and pulled back. So yeah, lovely, very nice moves yesterday. A lot of volatility yesterday, but obviously didn't really play out amazingly. But yeah, profit's profit at the end of the day. I don't care. Good news for the pound, and it falls down the stairs. Yeah, triple witching today. Yes, it is a triple witching today. So the triple witchings affect the US indices. So, yes, I need to be a little careful with those. Why is that still painted? Why is that text there? Oh, it's because the EA is not active on here. Of course, it's not going to take off the previous, is it? So pulling back inside the DAX. So yeah, triple witching days, basically. They are basically where you have multiple options, expiries, and everything all happening at the same time. So triple witching is the expiration of the same day of stock options, stock index futures, and stock index options contracts. So basically, what it is you have to close out your options by a specific date. This is it. They expire. So anybody that's still hanging on has to dump. So this tends to be the options holders that are in high profit options positions. So what they tend to do is just liquidate them all and bank the money. Yeah. And what that causes is a huge influx of available stock, which suddenly has to be bought up, obviously, or sold off, whichever way it goes. Well, bought up. So mainly bought up, but it doesn't work that way. So what you tend to find is on triple witchings, we get very large movements. You'd have to go back and look at previous triple witchings. We get quadruple witchings as well, where you just get moves. And what tends to happen on these days is one of 2 things. Either the options have expired previously and we just don't do anything, or they haven't because they've been good moves and people have held them, and we get a mass dumping. And the way the market often moves with these is you get the initial move and it turns into a beautiful trend, but a very strong trend that never ends. So you get way more, if it's this way, downward movement, a couple of bull candles, bang, couple of bull, bang. It tends to be that type of sort of parabolic trend movement that you get. So if you get an ORB this afternoon, obviously we'll be trading this afternoon, so we'll see what happens at the open. But when you get an ORB that works out, it's one of those days where you kind of want to go, actually, I'm not going to take target at 2R or 3R. I'm just going to let this thing run, because you will quite often get an ADR day. So just bear that in mind. It doesn't always work that way. I'm just trying to see when the last one was. June 20th was the last one. Am I going to have that? Let's have a look. Should have. There we are. So let's mark it up. 23rd. Oh, moved it. So that was the last one. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. Let's see if this is going to allow me to actually see that. Oh, good one. Why don't you just reset to the end of the chart? I'm sorry, MT5, but that doesn't happen in MT4. Right, there we go. There you go. So there's your triple witching on the 15-minute chart. So there's your open. Yeah. Look at previous days, yeah, and you know, nice moves, nice grindy one there. But look at that, parabolic. Yeah, very big, strong move. So when you get those breaks, you can hold them. Let's just measure that one there and see what that was. So ADR is 231 on the NASDAQ. From the open to the peak was 228. One ADR to the upside. Peak to trough, 366, 150% roughly of ADR. So we moved 250% of ADR within the day. Yeah, so huge volatility. So definitely a day that you can make a lot of money on. Thankfully, I just got my funded account this morning, although it's not appearing. So that trader rate, the top take profit trader account that was trading the other day, I got it over the line yesterday. So it's added into my little portfolio, but it's not there. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. I've had the email this morning. So the email came through this morning, but it's not there. So I'm hoping it's going to be there this afternoon, because I'd really like to trade the open this afternoon. But anyway. Okay, so DAX is holding. We'll see where we go. Can you check Euro New Zealand? I can. See, we've gone on a go slow again. I might have to take my own advice, you know. Yesterday I put a video out on YouTube and I put it in the MST Academy in here. Choosing the right software for your specific needs. So I spent a long time yesterday doing a load of videos. These are the kind of the free videos before we get to the members stuff that starts on Monday. So I'm going to get this one done today. There's a couple of others actually I want to put in here that I've forgotten about, that I put on my list and I forgot to load them up. But I did this, not that one, brokers, that one yesterday about choosing the right software. And part of that video, I talk about using whatever you want for your analysis, but you don't have to trade on that platform, right? So I'm finding this driving me nuts, trying to switch charts on this thing. If I was on MT4 now, it's instant. I'm done. So what I might do is just go to MT4 and use MT4 for all my analysis and stuff in here, and we will trade on MT5. So I can show what's going on with the account in here. Yeah, these are the trades that have been taken. And, you know, we can, when we got trades on, we can flick to charts and slowly look at them all. But I think I might stick with MT4 for my analysis, you know, because it's driving me up the wall, this thing. Anyway, MT5. I'm trying to love it. Euro New Zealand. So we got double top forming at yesterday's high at the moment. Big rejection there on that one. at monthly high as well. So it's a really good level to start looking for shorts. We're extended on the hourly. So first extension on that was back here. That's quite low. The first 75 extension was there. So if you got in yesterday, obviously, you're kind of looking for a reversal alert there. So you didn't get a reversal alert on the hourly yesterday. That's going to be your first hourly reversal. There's a chart pattern there. Anybody know what that one's called? This is forming. It's a partially formed, partially completed chart pattern. It's an obscure one. Anybody know what that one's called? Morning, Mumo. Just stay with MT4 for everything. Too much going back and forth. I know. I really wish I hadn't have picked MetaTrader as a platform. You know, if I'd have gone with any other platform, I wouldn't have a problem because there is only one of them. I've chosen the only software company in the world that actually produces two platforms completely different that do exactly the same thing. A short ears Batman. It is a short ears Batman. So this is a Batman formation. So basically it's a strong push. There's your left cowl. You're going to have to visualize Batman here, okay? There's the top of his head. There's his right cowl. Yeah. So you're looking for a break of the cowl, break of the forehead, if you like. So a little bit like a head and shoulders pattern. But where you got the witch's hat on a head and shoulders, on a Batman, it's a lower high and usually it's a double bottom or a higher low and then a double top. Yeah. So it's basically exhaustion, attempt by the buyers to buy back, getting punched down, then in a second attempt, hitting an iceberg order, running away. Yeah. So that tends to be what the pattern is. So it's called a Batman. I'm not making this stuff up. You can Google it. I'll Google it. It's one of the more obscure ones. You don't see it very often, but it is, yeah, it is there. Yeah. I do not make stuff up. It is real. And they are actually a very good pattern. They're much better than head and shoulders patterns. They actually survive better. When you see these forming, when they do actually work out, they do tend to be very good because the way they're formed is through propulsion, and it's propulsion exhaustion. So what you do is you get these big strong moves in one direction. There is an exhaustion point where they haven't taken profit, and when the profit take starts, you tend to get the very similar pattern to what you got on the way up, on the way back down again. So they're very quick moves, especially on the hourly time frame. They're really, really good. But obviously, they don't always play out. So what you could find is that you just go into an accumulation here. Yeah, and this propulsion move is left in play. And this propulsion move here is left in play. So this is basically what will hold up this propulsion gap. If I was in MT4, I could show you it. But yeah. I've tried to recode the FVG propulsion gap, wide range bar, whatever you want to call it, indicator for this platform. It really doesn't like it. The way that this draws the graphical user interface in MT5, I've tried a couple of other propulsion gap indicators that don't draw the way that I want it to draw, but they draw similarly, and they have the same problem. They take forever to paint. I don't know what it is. This is actually, I think this might be a broken one. Because I was recoding it. This might be the dev version, which has got problems. Yeah, this is the dev version. So ignore the way this is drawn. But they do take a long time to draw. I was just trying to basically speed up the drawing process. But you can see there, look, I mean, it just takes forever to update. It just doesn't work. So I think what I'm going to have to do is go back to the drawing board on MT5 with it, because there's got to be another way of doing these. I just haven't found one that works, a good one that I can either use and mold back into this indicator, or fix mine. The way that mine works in MT4 is designed to just literally do a chart look back, and it does it. So if you've got 500, what my indicator does is every time it finds a propulsion gap, it recalculates that one. So it does 500 calculations, finds the first one, does 500 calculations, finds the next one, 500 calculations. MT4 just goes boom. MT5 goes 1, 2, and that's basically how MT5 works in the background. It literally, it's almost like you can see it reading the code. It's so bad. So I tried to do it in a different way, but it just doesn't work. So yeah, it's kind of back to the drawing board a little bit with that one, unfortunately. Anyway, so yeah, you're in New Zealand. That's good. Short is Batman, yeah. Right, let's have a look at. So we're pulling back up on DAX this morning. So it looks like we're going to stop out on the first break. We're kind of continuing this accumulation from yesterday. So after the initial move yesterday, we accumulated and then we just ground up ever so slightly and started accumulating at that resistance high. So it looks at the moment like there is no real urge from the market to take this anywhere today. Your obvious targets to the downside are obviously in play. So you've got a lovely big propulsion, large double candle propulsion gap there. You've got that propulsion gap there, which they've already tested and rebought. So that is still valid. They tested it and rebought again. So that is your strongest downside support. That we'll be out by there because obviously that target is today we are 400 and that is 1100. So you got almost 3R to the downside until you hit first support today. But not going anywhere, is it? A minute. Yeah, so basically my plan today is in between streams is to get this video done. There's a couple of others that I wanted to do as well. I wanted to do an individual video for each section of the website as well, so that I can do a kind of a little bit like if you were in the members stream the other day. I've put that down here in the weekly Q&A, so you can watch that recording if you are a member. That is the one that goes through the entire members area, but it's not great. So I was going to kind of record one and just go through each of these. One of the videos that I wanted to do that I've forgotten about that I wanted to do in the trading 101 part of the sort of course was to really hammer home risk reward, the impact of risk reward ratio and win rate. This is such an important thing for anybody using any kind of stop loss related strategy. Everything I do with ORB is all mathematically calculated on risk reward and strike rate ratios. This is basically the holy grail of trading. It doesn't matter what the strategy is. You can flip a coin if you like. If you have these ratios right, flipping a coin, you will make money. So it's a massively important part. And I've suddenly realized when I was going through the video yesterday, I don't actually talk about this. We are going to talk about it within the risk awareness part, but it's more a case of looking at entire risk across assets, portfolio and everything than being specifically related to risk reward and more importantly, strike rate ratio. It's one of the questions I get asked all the time about the market reversal alert indicator is what is the strike rate? And people don't understand when they're new in trading that indicators do not create strike rates. Strike rates are created by a trade being placed and a risk reward ratio. If you have a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, your strike rate will be higher. If you have a 1-to-15 risk reward ratio, your strike rate will be lower. The strike rate has nothing to do with a signal that gets created by an indicator or a condition created by an oscillator or a flip of a coin. Risk reward ratio is part of the equation of what a trade is. So the strike rate is just something that is a combination of these two. And it's very important to understand because everything you do in trading, when you're doing back testing, the whole point of system parameter permutation and robustness testing is to determine what variables in your strategy affect the risk reward, strike rate, and the drawdown. Yeah. So it's basically, when you're testing, if you don't understand how this works, none of this is going to make any sense, and you're not going to be able to extract any meaningful data to be able to make decisions on what that strategy should be doing. So, you know, the things like with the opening range breakout strategy, when I did sort of 20,000 parameter permutation tests on it, I could clearly see the relationship between risk reward ratio and strike rate. When that increases, that decreases. When that decreases, that increases. Yeah. So can I achieve a profitable equity curve with that? Can I achieve a profitable equity curve with that? Is that profit and that profit equal? If so, use that, because that can be achieved much more often, which leads to consistent profit and less psychological impact. Very simple. But if you don't understand the relationship between strike rate and risk reward ratio, you're never going to be able to extrapolate that sort of data and make decisions on what to do with any strategy you develop. So there's no point in me going through how to build a strategy when you don't understand how trading works. And that is a key lesson. So, and this is the whole reason I built this part of the website out, so that people can understand this. If you put that up, you don't need this. You're still going to make money. You can lose 75% of the time with that risk reward ratio. But if you're not very good at leaving profit on the table, you're going to lose money. Therefore, you're going to need to do it more often. It's just simple maths at the end of the day, isn't it? This is how trading is. It's maths. It's just maths and statistics. Maths and statistics equals edge. All trading is. So I've got to do a video on this. I've decided. And it was yesterday, the light bulb moment came in, and I was like, just none of this is going to make any sense if you don't understand risk reward. So I've got to do that today. And the other one. So yeah, that's my busy day. Monday, we are starting the member streams. So at the moment, I'm trying to get Monday. At the moment, we've got scheduled in diversification and expectation versus reality, I believe. So those are the first two that we're going to cover on Monday session after the YouTube stream. So we go straight into members after YouTube. And then obviously we're just going to crack through all of this content, basically. It's going to be exciting. Right. Anybody got anything else they want to look at this morning or discuss? There's not a lot happening here at the minute. Let's have a quick look at what this Aussie New Zealand is up to. Oh, I found out something very exciting as well. Well, it's sort of exciting. Apex, who are another prop firm that I used to trade with, they now, which I didn't realize before, they now have the DAX futures, Eurex. They are one of the very few futures prop firms out there that actually have the Eurex exchange, which means you can trade DAX on futures. So yeah, I'm going to sign up with Apex today. I left Apex. I used to trade with them. I don't know if you've been in the YouTube streams for a while, you probably remember, but it was a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I used to trade with Apex. A lot of the guys in the afternoon sessions in New York know, because I was trading Apex with different software back then. But I left them because their payouts were terrible. So I just need to read up on what their payout structure is now, because what you used to have to do was wait 6 weeks for a full payout, and they would only allow you to take partial payments as well from your profit. And the other bad thing about them, unfortunately, is they do have a trailing drawdown rule, which means that if you take a trade in the day which spikes up to a large profit and then pulls back down, and you take a break even on it, your trailing stop, your trailing loss actually pulls up per trade on your open liquidity, or your open equity, rather than being end of day trailing drawdown. So that is the only negative for Apex. I believe now they pay out within 8 days, which is good, acceptable. You know, getting paid within a week is all right. And you can hold during the news as well. Not that I do with futures because you get murdered. But yeah, 7-day pass. There was something about the payments. No daily. Yeah, look, they sell this as if it's a positive. No daily drawdowns. I want daily drawdowns because it means that I don't get intraday stopped out because I've had a really good day and I missed the TP and it fell back down again. Then I had one losing trade and you cancel my account. No, that shouldn't happen. But that's what they do. They sell it as a positive. It's absolute negative. But anyway. So I might try an Apex as well to go with my take profit trader and my top step accounts, because I'd love to trade the DAX, and no other futures company has the DAX that I've come across that I want to trade with. There's lots of other futures ones out there, like people like Blue Nox and stuff. This Blue Nox is a good one. This website template, when I used to build websites for a living. I know this template very well. I've built lots of websites in this template. So this is a bog standard WordPress template running a plugin called Aweber, or Amember, sorry. Oh, there you go, down there, built on Amember Pro. It even says it. Look, they haven't even taken the branding off. So this is a bog standard roll off the shelf WordPress Amember membership system. This is, you can knock this up literally in a day. So yeah, someone else was promoting this one to me the other day, and I was like, Apex are big. Yeah, they've been around a long time. I think it's worth having a crack just to trade the DAX, just so I can trade the DAX in futures. Great to trade that in the mornings as well with the members. We'll see how we go. My account there yet? Come on. Why is it not there? Stopped out on the DAX. So either we break long today, or there's no trade on the DAX apart from that one. So upside, you haven't got as much room upside, unfortunately, today. You've got just about 1.25 hour to the upside. But if we go up to the weekly high, you've got loads of room there. So I would today, because obviously just taken a loss on that, if we get up to that resistance, I would probably just take it to replace the loss today. Robert, why did you stop using Renko charts? Is that a joke? When have I ever used Renko charts? Yeah, don't use baby charts. No. I never started with. I did use Renko. I traded Renko for maybe 3 or 4 weeks at some point many years ago. But in your old videos, you talked about working on a strategy with it. I may have done. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, never. Renko charts are. I call them Duplo blocks. They're literally for people that can't read candlesticks. A Renko is just literally a block every time you get to a certain price point. Hard to make money out of. So when you get a block going the other way, you go short, but you've missed all that. You've missed the move. You've missed it. It's happened. If I was talking about that, it was years ago. So I don't know. I can't remember. Matters prop, MFF won their case. Matters prop, My Forex Factory won their case. 3 years. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that explains it. I probably thought about it. What do you mean My Forex Funds won their case? I haven't heard about that. Are they back in business? I wouldn't trade with them now anyway, but no. Have they changed their name to something like Matters Prop? Property Matters? I don't know what you're talking about, Mumo. What does that mean? Oh, a Matters Prop, as in talking about prop. My Forex Funds won their case. I get you. Okay. Yeah, did they? Okay. Will they be back, though? The trouble is with My Forex Funds now, trying to get back into this game with the marketplace being so unbelievably flooded with prop firms now, I think they would struggle. Their name is tarnished. And personally, unless they come up with something that is phenomenally good, long DAX, and, oh no, not quite, sorry. Didn't quite trigger. I thought we just hit the entry there, but we didn't. Yeah, unless they come up with something phenomenal offering wise, people are not going to use them, I don't think. If they do restart, name's tarnished, director's tarnished. Yeah, I mean they run off with a lot of money. I was getting paid a lot by them, but you know, there's other fish out there, plenty of them. You know, we're going to be covering that in the prop trading, looking at how they work, looking at the difference between them, and looking at strategies basically to trade them. But at the end of the day, there are so many prop firms out there. You just need to find one that suits the strategy that you're going to trade, basically, which is why I'm so interested in Apex, because trading ORB, the thing I miss is the morning session. Yeah, I can't trade the morning session. I can't make money in the morning on futures because it's Globex. But if you've got the Eurex exchange, you can trade all of the FX pairs. Yeah, so you can successfully trade FX. You can trade them on futures because obviously you've got... oh, we're on it already. Look, there's 6B. So this is the pound US dollar in futures. But you have got access to... the stocks and all sorts of other indexes on there, so it's worth having a look at, I think. But I think I will drop them because of that trading intraday drawdown. It's one of those things where you have these days in futures, and it's very easy in futures to have these days because you're trading single contracts. You can get over leveraged quite quickly and easily in futures, and you have to make sure you protect your price, your position aggressively in futures. Otherwise, you just get killed. And it's one of those things where you'll catch a good trade and it will suddenly, you'll get a big spike up and run, and you'll be like, brilliant, I'm going to move this to break even. Yeah, that could be $1,000 in run up, and you'll be like, this thing has got so much room to pull back and go, I'm going to hold it. So you're $1,000 up. Then what happens is it just goes vroom, comes back and clears you out of break even. End of day trailing drawdown will be down here somewhere. Because that's run up that far, your drawdown will come up to here. What happens is you take the next trade, you get it wrong by $200, and they lose the account. Yeah. So intraday trailing drawdown is an absolute criminal way to do it, which is why most of them now don't do that. You can see it here. Look. This is an end of day trailing drawdown example where it would just step up each day. And when you put the trailing loss, it trails as you go. So imagine this being a day. So this is 9 o'clock in the morning. This is 6 o'clock at night. So these are the trades you've taken for the day. Yeah. And it's pushed all the way up to there and you're like, oh, this is brilliant. And all of a sudden you put a break even on that trade and it comes crashing back down again. And you're like, But this line doesn't go down. This line stays here. They get you. It's the one thing I don't like about these trailing intradays. They're not fair. It's not fair. You know, if I run up $1,000 and don't take the profit and it comes back down and breaks me even, I haven't lost anything. I haven't gained anything. You penalize me by saying, actually, we're not going to let you play as much now. That's basically what they're saying. It's an old trick. All the big players have stopped doing it. All the big prop firms have stopped it, but Apex never stopped it. And it's just one of those things I just thought, well, you're not competitive anymore, Apex, because these other guys now have realized that the rest of the world works on equity and not on intraday equity. End of day. A lot of props don't do static drawdown. Most of them do. Though, you know, take profit trader. I can list you more of them that do have end of day drawdown than don't now. The minority of them have intraday. The majority of them don't do that anymore. Yeah, end of day trailing drawdown, $2,000. Yeah. So if I'm starting flat, I got 2,000, yeah? If my trading day goes like that, this line doesn't move. If I finish there, it moves up. And then my next day goes like that. This is what end of day trailing drawdown is. That's fine, it goes up to there, and then that goes up. Yeah, so it's always $2,000 away from where you close the day out. With intraday, this thing goes up to there because it went up to there, and then my money comes down to here. I lose the account before I get that trade back on. That's not fair. That's not the way it works. This is why all the prop firms that are now milking it are doing this, because this is how you do as a trader. If I'm trading like today, right, we've gone long on the DAX now. If this trade goes all the way up to there, I don't take a profit, and then it comes back down and stops me out, and then I take a loss. So what? I don't blow my account, do I? That's not how it works. It's just not right. You know, this is why people jump ship from these types of firms, because it's just not fair on the trader. I get why they do it, because obviously it means they can sell more evaluations and more resets. And the other thing I like about Apex as well, there's loads of pluses for Apex. But the other thing I like about them is they're so cheap. They have always got an 85% deal on. Yeah. So whatever prices you see on their website, take off 80%. They always got a deal on it, 80% off. So basically you can buy a 50K evaluation for $40. Yeah. 170 here. But with Take Profit Trader, I'll pass these all day long because there is no trailing drawdown. And I get paid on day one. So I've just passed this evaluation on this particular account, which is not there yet. If I run this account up to 21 grand today, I'll take it out today. I can have the money. With all the others, I have to wait somewhere between 7 to 14 days before I can press the button to take a payout. The vast majority of them will only then allow you to take 50% of whatever profit's available to you. Take Profit Trader, I'll have the lot. I'll take the whole 1,000, thank you. I want my money back. What I've just paid you, let's say it took you 3 attempts to pass. So you spent 170 plus $200 on resets. So you spent $370 on resets. If you run the account up to £1,000 on day one, take the money, pay yourself, stick 700 in the bank, off you go. That's the way you do prop. Can't do that with people that pay you 7 to 14 days and only give you 50% of it. So if I run the account up to 55 grand, best case scenario is in 2 weeks' time, I can have 2.5 grand of it. Sorry, I've been funded, pay me. This is why Take Profit are doing so well, because they're on the side of the trader. Run by a Canadian hockey player who loves trading, yeah? He doesn't need the money. I mean, he's making a lot of it, but anyway. That's just my view on it, yeah? And, you know, this is what we go into in the in this part of the course is going to be, how do you actually get paid? You know, passing is not that difficult if you know how risk reward works and how mathematics work to create edges and how the market moves. It's not difficult to pass these, but actually getting paid, that's the difficult part. And that's where this comes in. Yeah. Don't run one evaluation, run 5, because you will get one of those over the line. And if you run 3 funded accounts and you blow 2 of them, you will get paid on one of them. You will make money. This is how it all works. It's not about just going, I'm going to spend $500 on one 100K account. Oops, I blew it in day 2. Now I've got to spend another $1,000 or whatever. It's just, that's never going to work. People are not going to make money doing prop that way. Anyway, we'll cover that at a later date. Right, DAX, we are long. So watch the upside resistance here. That's going to potentially be, it's just a break-even spot today if we get there. So we'll see how that's gone this afternoon. Play that one out. Right, so I'll be back at 2:30 this afternoon. We'll be trading the US session and obviously see how we get on with the futures side, assuming I get my account up and running by then. So I'll be trading futures and obviously trading ORB this afternoon. FX-wise, I'm waiting for some more RSI extensions to come in. At the moment, there isn't any. So I'll see how we go today, but there might be some new entries potentially today. I've got a couple of yen pairs which I'm trading in my portfolio, so I might get some yen exposure on today, but we'll see how we go. So yeah, there we go. All right, have a good day. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord or Telegram back this afternoon at 2:30, and we'll trade the US session. Have a good one.